Guys, welcome back to another video on the Planet Football YouTube channel. Really excited to jump into this one where today we're going to be focusing on OMARI HUTCHINSON. We've already checked out a few other youngsters on the channel so far. If you've not already, make sure to go back and have a look through some of those videos. But OMARI HUTCHINSON is a player with such an interesting story. Recently made his move over to Chelsea as well from Arsenal, and I can't wait to jump into a compilation highlight reel of just what he has to offer. As always, if you do go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like, and any other players that you'd like to see me reacting to on the channel, do get them in the comments down below. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and check out just what OMARI HUTCHINSON has to offer. Like I say, such an interesting story. If you've not read about it, make sure to go ahead and do so. He sort of went viral as a youngster with a video that he was in with the F2. He was part of that competition they had with Pelé. And in terms of a technical player, he's such an exciting young prospect. Recently at Arsenal, just made his move over to Chelsea. And this is my first time really watching him in actual competitive matches. I've seen sort of like highlight reels of the skills he's got and things like that, but actually in a game circumstance, I'm excited to see just what he's like. And look at that, little turns of pace in the middle, drops his shoulder really well, just weaves in and out of people, doesn't he? And he's got a brilliant left foot to stick it away there. Look at that, he's got people pulling him back. Keeps his balance while he's being tugged as well, and then jinks around a few others and has the composure to go ahead and finish it off as well. Like I say, technically I don't think there's any doubts over just how good he actually is. And then the next stage of his progression really is into senior football, and at this point in time he is being rumoured to be potentially available for a championship loan this time around, which I'd be so fascinated to see how he went ahead and did. Because you can never quite tell how a player's going to step up. But look at that sort of vision there. But you can never tell, like I was saying, how a player's going to step up from youth level to senior football, especially that first loan move out. But technically he just wanders around people, doesn't he?
Francis stretches the play to that right hand side into Hutchinson again. He went close moments ago from this side, switching flanks.
Really fast feet, that vision again to pick out a pass. And it'd be interesting to see as well, gradually as he does get older, what position he ends up drifting into. Obviously a few clips here of him out on the right hand side, really deadly to cut in on the left, but also we've seen a few clips of him in those central positions where he can be deadly as well. Great vision again, and we have seen, to be fair, to Chelsea and the way they go about loaning out their youngsters, just how successful that route has actually been over recent years in terms of Chelsea loaning players out to the Championship. That awareness of everyone else around him. Look at that, he sells two defenders with one fluid movement there with the back heel. And again, it's going to be a bit of a trademark for him, that, isn't it? Another clip here of him playing on the left hand side, so very much comfortable playing across that forward line. The vision's absolutely there to pick out a pass, which is really exciting. And then that close control there, which I think is probably getting more and more common in young English players. I think players like this we've not had. You know, to pick out a pass like that and to have that technique to be able to pick up the ball in tight little pockets of space. I think more and more with like the emergence of talents like Phil Foden, the way we're now coaching these youngsters, we are seeing the emergence of more talents like this come in from England, and that is so exciting to me, I think. Fluid movement again to go ahead and sell a defender. Nice ball in with his left foot. Wonder the left foot really, hasn't he, in terms of that creativity. But he drops his shoulder so well. Has that speed of pace on transitions as well. Always very much a forward-thinking player who's looking for that next progression in the pitch. Nice ball again. Such fast feet with those turnarounds. It's interesting as well because I think a club that he has been linked to as of recording right now has been Reading for a potential loan move. I think that would be an interesting one. I'd like to see him getting plenty of game time in the Championship. Brilliant picks out again.
Another free kick to be working well.
Oof.
Oh my goodness me, glorious free kick from distance from Stuart Hutchinson.
I think as well you can tell at youth level, and it doesn't always translate to senior football, but you can generally tell the players who are just that step above the rest really. And from these clips he certainly appears to be one of those players. Oh, dancing feet around people. He does remind me a lot of Phil Foden as well. I'm not sure if it's just the left foot, but the technique, the nimbleness around those tight spaces. And the way he moves as well, you know, how fluid that sort of movement is and that drop of the shoulder that we've mentioned a few times. It is a very similar sort of playing style to someone like a Phil Foden, who, like we said, for an English talent is really quite unique, so it's quite promising to see other players in that sort of template coming up throughout these academies.
Comes across to Lopez. Coutinho happy to do so, and if he can of course beat that press, as we know, space can open up. Open up now for OMARI Hutchinson.
Happy to have the ball in those deeper areas as well to go ahead and progress it.
To Alebiosu, now to Hutchinson. Clever ball.
Does well at receiving the ball, picking up those little fouls. And players like him are just so tough to go ahead and nudge off the ball. When they are that little bit, you know, press proof, they're happy to pop it off, but they can also do a cheeky little nutmeg to get around you.
Hutchinson stayed on his feet. Won the corner.
3 people he gets past there to win the corner.
He's done very well, hasn't he, Hutchinson, since
And he seems to be a player who has that little bit of battling nature about him. You know, when he is pushed off the ball, he's not really rolling around or anything like that. He's straight back up on his feet looking to win the ball back again or move on to the next stage.
I like that sometimes with a young player.
Yeah, all round he looks incredibly promising. Very much excited to see more of him as his career continues to progress. Well guys, there we have it. There is today's reaction to OMARI Hutchinson. Any other youngsters that you'd like to see me checking out on the channel, do get your suggestions in the comments down below. Apart from that though guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one.